Hello and welcome, my Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, vocation read for October, November 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Mark Angelo Lyons. But you can call me Mal. Hi, y'all. How you doing? New series. Literally do these readings for myself all the time. I have once a week at least to check on my work, career, and vocation. 3 levels of power of service and life purpose, right? We'll talk about that in a minute. First of all, an important thing. Thank you so much, my subscribers. Welcome back. Talk about a work, career, and vocation journey. When we get into it, you'll see how I've really balanced to bring the 3 of these together and into YouTube. Go figure, right? So all of your subscriptions, your likes, your comments, your sharing, right? All of that stuff is really helping get my work out there. And I'm very, very, very satisfied with the way things are going, right? Now, I'm not quite at 2,000 subscribers yet. I'm working towards that for sure, right? Incrementally, but I'm really shooting for 30,000 so that, as I've been saying, so that I can put my extended reads in a membership thing, right? So you pay one price per month to have access to all the extended readings, all the signs, right? And I would have them up on VIMEO.com as well, which I've had my Vimeo account for years and I love it. But there you have to pay as you go, like each one. So if you want to check your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, that's, well, $5, $10, $15, $20, right? Because they're usually $5 each. I do them. Here you would get them all for one price. So help me out. And if you're new to my channel, and if this clicks for you, please do feel free to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment, because it's just going to help people get the work out. Good. So yeah, that's the work part of what I do. But work, career, and vocation, though they are a spectrum, they're not the same thing. 3 levels of power. Work is for survival, how you pay the bills, right? How you do what you do, but not all people get paid for their work. They might get paid through their career, which is an emotional, mental thirst and hunger, right? Your career, your passion, what just your soul is driving you to do. And then your vocation is your spiritual calling, right? 3 levels of power, the physical world, the mental, emotional world, and the spiritual world, if you want to do it that way. And for myself, I will say I'm president of Drawing the Circle Productions. That is my work. I don't get paid for that work. That's all the administration stuff and the editing and all that stuff. Yes, it makes me money eventually, but really I make my money through my personal level of power, my career as a teacher, a speaker, a healer. It's essentially an artist and a healer is what I do here on YouTube. I'm with clients since really long time. I've been reading tarot for almost 40 years, right? Professionally, a majority of that time. And my vocation as a mystic just powers it all, calling me forward, right? My calling. So let's see how this plays out. This is a general reading. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because we all have different archetypes in play and different projects and different aspects of our lives. Now, I will say, of course, all the decks that I'm reading are in the description box below. We're only doing 9 cards, 3 different decks. I'll call them out as I go. But this is to give you some clues, tips, and hints about the soul power, the archetypes, what's going on inside of you and what's going on outside of you in these 3 levels of power, so that you can kind of separate out the difference. It's like, okay, I hate what I'm doing for a living, but can you love what you're doing for your living if your career, if it's paying your way to do what you love, right? In other words, everybody wants to make money doing what they love, but there is a growing process there as well. And Lord knows it took me a while to get here at 52 years old. See what I'm saying? It's about the evolution of the soul, essentially, on all levels. So let's do this, right? Focus on your breath. Stay in the present moment as best you can. And I will give you the best that I can. A lot of exposition, but it's a new series, so had to. Ready, my Leos? Meow. Breathe. And here we go. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Oh, hi, you guys feel like fun today. Please, I need 3 cards in clarity for the Leo collective Sun, Moon, Rising signs. And I am Leo Rising, so I might be in this one. We shall see. Please, 3 cards. 1 for their first level of power, the literal world, the work they do in this world, the lower 3 chakras, the root, the sacrum, and the solar plexus, all right? Their second level of power, please. 1 card in clarity for the Leo's career, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, the personal world, the interior world, the mental, emotional world, right? The heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown chakras, please. This one card for their career, and one card for their third level of power, the symbolic level of power, the spiritual world, their vocation, their spiritual calling, please. Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, October, November 2020. All right, now keep in mind, archetypes are tricky. I love the way Caroline Myss designed these. Caroline Myss is one of my favorite teachers on planet Earth. Never met her. She's the only person on planet Earth that kind of intimidates me. Yeah. But they are triggering in that there is shadow and light on each of these cards. The shadow is the toxic stuff you don't want to look at, you don't want to address. And if you have looked at and addressed, you don't want anybody to know about. This is the process of alchemy on a soul level, things written into your life purpose contract, right, about your work, career, and vocation, so that you can alchemize it from the shadow into the light, the lead into the gold. Speaking of alchemy, you've got the alchemist. So your work has a lot to do with alchemy. Now, that's probably not literal, right? You probably don't go to work in an alchemist laboratory and, you know, like, melting down lead, which is probably incredibly toxic in terms of the gases that it releases, right? Probably no, not good, right? But this is a split archetypal family. This one is in the wisdom family as well as the divine family. Let me read you this. This is hot, right? And it absolutely indicates a spiritual thing going on here in terms of your work. The shadow attribute, misuse of the power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. Are you trying to hack the universe? Right, I know what I'll do. I'll just do gratitude work every second of every day for the next 3 months. And then I'll get what I want. Does it work that way? Does it work that way? It works that way for some people. But when what you want and what you need are the same thing, then what's meant to manifest. What we want, there's nothing wrong with what we want, but it's how we get there. That's what the gods are looking at. What you want is not the issue. You're worthy of it all. But what are you willing to do in the physical world to get there? The light attribute, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So you might be in this place in work where you really have to alchemize a lot of lead into gold, a lot of shit into fertilizer, right? A lot of suffering. Suffering makes us grow. I hate to say it, but it's what it is. And I have learned more from the painful moments in my life than the joyful, at least at this stage. Though I've had more joyful than painful, I'm sure we all get a balance at the end of it all, right? So some alchemy here. Very interesting. I mean, off to a running start, my Leos. You've got one of my favorite archetypes. I have this one lifelong. In the career, you have the hedonist archetype. Meow, 5th house, Leo energy, up and out the yin-yang, so to speak. I love the hedonist archetype. It's a personal friend of mine. The shadow, if you don't know the shadow of the hedonist, right? Pursues pleasure to the detriment of health. Been there, done that, have the burnt t-shirt. Indulges at the expense of others. Yeah, it was called the 80s. Did I ever? Very familiar with this. But I have alchemized this, let's say, hopefully predominantly into the light. Inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life. Celebrates the beauty in yourself. I think you know what I mean, Leos, right? To celebrate the beauty in yourself, to have that creative energy. This is, by the way, the hedonist is the wild card family of archetype. You never know what you're going to get with a hedonist, right? But like, you know, give me a glass of even somewhat decent champagne in a hot tub with a cute guy. I'm good. Right? I'm like, let's boil witch's cauldron. Throw a handful of basil and some rock salt in that fucker. We're off and running. A little carnelian in the bottom nobody sees. That's manipulation is exactly what that is, unless they know and they're into it, right? So very, very powerful. So really, in terms of your personal power, your personal world, heart, throat, third eye, and crown, this has got to feel good for you, but you got to watch your ethics. Got to watch that shadow on that. Fabulous. What's going on in your vocation? The mother archetype. Now, this just popped up for the Cancerian reading that I just did, I believe, in the first level of power work. So there might be a connection there if you've got some Leo, some Cancerian planets going on there as well. I will say with the mother archetype in the third level of power, there is a goddess archetype card in this deck, right? So could have come up that way, but this could really be about the divine mother, right? Not maiden, not crone, but mother, if you're going to do the witch thing. Definitely feminine family of archetypes. The mother, the shadow mother, we know. Just go watch Mommy Dearest. Smothering or abandoning children, instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. Now, I will tell you, the goddess does not do that, right? So the divine mother archetype wants to see us all grow and be the best that we can be. So we're going to put that to the side, right? We'll keep an eye on it, like the MTV logo down in the corner. Remember when it used to play music? Wasn't that hot? Well, video did kill the radio star, as a matter of fact. The light attribute, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy, and giving birth to life. And this could absolutely be about your vocation, your spiritual life, feeding you, right? It's like you don't have to be the mother in this archetype. You could be experiencing the divine archetypally through that divine mother vibe. Now, granted, goddesses, maiden, mother, and crone. This is really about nurturance. And think about the creativity, right? Particularly with the hedonist, there are 3 levels of intuition as well. Survival intuition, lower 3 chakras, navigating the physical world. Creative intuition, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. That's the whole creating your reality and balancing your thoughts and your desires and your emotions, all that stuff. And this is visionary intuition. Maybe you are becoming a symbolic mother. It's a symbolic level of power. Spiritual world, a mother of something to be incarnated into this world, brought into physical manifestation, but in a way that is very hedonistic and it's going to take some alchemy on the physical as well. So to take a lot of, what is alchemy? What does it take? It takes heat, it takes pressure, it takes time. It just does. It is a process, just like a mother conceives a baby, right? Gestates, the baby grows within her, gives birth, labors, and then off it goes, has a life of its own. So interesting. Very, very powerful, powerful archetypes, my Leos. I'm not shocked. But let's add to it. Let's get 3 Daughters of the Moon Tarot to see what your interior experience is. You know, if you're used to my channel, then you're used to this, right? If you're not new, you know that I usually use these cards for the voices of the divine feminine in terms of the voices of the goddesses, right? So let's see what's going on inside of you with these 3 archetypal patterns. Work, career, vocation. Please breathe. My goddesses of fire and my goddesses of Leo, please, I need 3 cards in clarity for this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their work, career, and vocation, October, November 2020. We've got the Alchemist, the Hedonist, and the Mother archetype, work, career, vocation. Please, can I have 1 card in clarity for their work as the alchemist, whether this is them or they're dealing with an alchemical situation or someone who has got that kind of alchemy going on? Please, 1 card in clarity, face down, what's going on inside of them, please, for this hedonist archetype in their career position, please. What's going on inside of them in their personal, internal world, career, a mental, emotional hunger and thirst. And what is going on inside of the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs with this mother archetype in their vocation, in their calling? This could absolutely be a vocation to love everyone unconditionally, right? Like that kind of power behind anything. It would be so hedonistic and very alchemical, right? Love is the universal solvent in the alchemical process. So please, 1 card for their vocation with the mother archetype. Now, by the way, they just said to me, of course, the process of pregnancy itself is alchemical, right? From this 2 things comes a whole other being, right? So very, very interesting. So you've got the alchemist in your work position with 3 of Cups. So we're looking at emotional bonds and friendships here, at least feeling it inside of you, feeling connected, feeling that initial stabilization of the 3 of Cups, something solid emotionally, something that feels good. So there might even be a friendliness towards your own emotion in terms of how you feel about your work right now, that like sometimes you're not there for the work, you're there for the soul contracts, right? Oh my God, how many times have I worked? This is why I work for myself partially. But when I used to work in retail, the people that I would come into contact with, I had contracts with. Write that one down, stitch it on a pillow, throw it on the couch. Right, slogans. So lovely, lovely. I mean, this really feels lovely for you, that 3 of Cups. Minor Arcana, let's keep going. For your career, you've got this hedonist card with the 6 of Cups. So that's 2 water cards in a row. And this is, of course, it says compassion on it. but that equal give and take of emotion. Yes, it can be about nostalgia, it can be about all those usual Six of Cups things, but this does say that there is an emotional balance here in terms of your hedonism in your interior world. So it's not that narcissistic thing of let me drain the ocean dry just for me, but let there be an equal exchange of that emotional flow in terms of your career. Now, just developing that in your life for a period of time would be a brilliant career move, because you will be able to sense when there is an imbalance of that emotional give and take more intuitively, right? That's more the interior world, although 3 levels of intuition in terms of your creativity, this whatever is going on in your career, even if your work is predominant, what's going on inside of you, there's a lovely emotional balance going on inside. With the Mother card in your vocation, you've got the Ace of Cups. I get it. It is through this experience of this archetype, the Mother archetype, in terms of your 8th chakra experience. This could be the collective divine feminine, the goddess, if you want to call her that, right? The divine feminine principle, half the universal energy, but as mother, right? Really, really giving you a new experience of love. Now, I'm going to be doing a series this week and probably into next, Amplifying Abundance. It's called. It's based on a Matt Kahn healing mantra deck card, Amplifying Abundance. Abundance is my birthright and I receive it now. But get that word birth. Right, birthright. There are certain things that we're entitled to, but that are written into our birthright. So it is very much receiving that cup. Abundance is my birthright, but do I know how to receive it now, aside from saying a mantra or doing this spiritual busy work or that spiritual busy work, when really it's already ours, right? So there's this Ace of Cups, huge feeling. And that was the big part of it too. That whole vision that I had, and they've been steadily every night, 2 a.m. for some reason, they get me. Talk about a vocation, right? Where to experience the love of God, gender neutral, please, for that at the moment, as both noun and verb, right? Like there's definitely a spiritual, emotional experience here. And for a fire sign, you have got cups across the board, right? 3 of Cups, 6 of Cups, so it doubles. And then the Ace of Cups, the singularity of divine love, your that seed of divine mother love. I'm going to call it what it is. This is awesome. This is great. Now, remember, I do these readings for myself and I do them for clients too. Usually I will do these in like a soul contract read, right? Like her, him, them, right? Divine feminine, divine masculine, and the contract itself. But plenty of times, over the decades, I have used this work, career, vocation spread for so many clients. I can't believe how much money some of these people have, right, to do it. And I'm just like, well, but then you see the shadow of what they're dealing with, right? It's so interesting. So let's find out what's going on the outside, shall we? Mythic Tarot, take a nice deep breath. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my gods of fire and Leo, Apollo in particular, who brooks no deception, who brooks no lack of integrity, must be done in honor. Please shine your light. I need 3 cards in clarity, beloved Lord Apollo. For this Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Sun, I almost said Venus, Sun, Moon, Rising sign in their work, career, vocation, in their work. They are dealing with the alchemist archetype within themselves, within another, within a situation. But with that 3 of Cups, there is a lovely emotional bond here. So what covers that? What will that look like? What does that look like on the outside? In their career, we've got the hedonist with the 6 of Cups. Feels really balanced. Like this does not feel like an emotionally imbalanced hedonist who's just going to drink everything in town and then burn it all down, right? So please, 1 card in clarity for their career, that personal level of power. And please, what's going on the outside here with their vocation, their spiritual calling, the mother archetype with that Ace of Cups that just, oh my God, that feels so solid in the center of my chest. Please, what does that look like in the external for them, October, November 2020? Let's see, again, the alchemist with the 3 of Cups, bonding, right? So definitely an emotional connection here physically with what's going on with the Hanged Man. So things might be on pause. You might need to take some time and look at things differently as the alchemy plays out, right? But the emotional part of this, you feel so drawn, you feel so connected here that know that though a sacrifice might be called for, something needs to be let go, This might very well be, and we'll see here in the next, the personal level of power, the career, what's going on mentally, emotionally here. A lot of times the hangman can be wait on the will of heaven, right? Wait for things, watch the movie, as my guides say, all the time, several times, just watch the movie, right? That things might be on pause here, which would be understandable with what's going on in the world right now, but that means the alchemical work is, you're being given time to do this, to see things differently. In other words, here's the ultimate alchemy. I've been saying this for 30 years. The ultimate witch's trick is lemons into lemonade. There's something about turning these base motives and goals into golden wisdom. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some introspection. It's going to take some surrender. Sacrifice in the terms of perhaps seeing... Sorry, my phone shut off. I don't know if this is all going to be in there. I will do my best to just say you might have to hang in there for this guy. I think we're okay, right? That there is a higher purpose here. There's no question, even in your work with that card of alchemy, with the Hanged Man, things might be in suspended animation, but hang in there. Okay, so here we've got the hedonist archetype in your career, mental, emotional, hunger, and thirst to drink up with this Six of Cups, big time drink up, right? And share, right? Really feels lovely. What's it look like on the outside? The Wheel of Fortune. There is fate and destiny going on here. You might be feeling that. Just keep your emotional balance with the hedonism, because sometimes it's funny. Two cards of waiting are on the table, right? The Hangman, things are on pause, and Wheel of Fortune. Now, we can move the Wheel of Fortune. We can do that through our action, through our intention, through our evolution, right? Are you going to play with the cycles of nature, the cycles of time, or are you going to resist, right? You're going to play along. This feels like there is a balance here, that it's like, okay, in the meantime, there's changes going on inside of me. There's a turn of the wheel happening outside in my career. You may not know what's going to happen, but to watch that hedonist, if you can enjoy the process. Right? This feels good. That Six of Cups feels good. Keep your emotional balance here, because there is a divine timing here. And I'm sorry, the Wheel of Fortune here are the three fates in Greek mythology, right? Weaving the fate and destiny of humanity. But fate and destiny are not the same thing. This is a timing card. So hang in there. Keep your balance. And don't run into escapism through hedonism just to wait. It sometimes slows things down. I'm not going to say always. I'm going to say sometimes. Right? How cloudy do you want to be? Right? It depends on what your forms of hedonism are. We've got the Mother archetype, Ace of Cups in your vocation. Lovely. What does that look on the outside? Page of Cups. Aww. Like an invitation, an opportunity to sip from the Page of Cups here. Now, this is Narcissus from Greek myth, where we get the word narcissist from. Not feeling that on here at all, but I am saying there is self-reflection, right? Narcissus, staring at his reflection, usually in the river, that it's a long myth, read it, but falls in love with himself, right? But what if the love that you're falling in love with is the divine, right? That there's something that, look, I consider myself a hedonist more than a martyr, right? I will serve to the best of my ability, myself in one cause, that finding the transcendent nature that I know the archetype. I grew up with shadow martyrs, and I've worked with so many shadow martyrs throughout my career to really get, I'm really more of a hedonist that way, and they're sort of opposites that way, and both serve. So to take this experience of self-reflection, to take this time that you're being given, to really look inside about what's in your heart, and you might find in your heart this Divine Mother energy, your own or the Divine Mother herself, that really fills up that Ace of Cups inside of you. It's like the divine you giving you this cup. And along with that, with the amount of water here, I have to say the intuitive impulse here has got to be kind of strong, but watch with that hedonist, right? In terms of your creativity, your creative intuition, right? where it comes in through the crown, the inspiration, hits the third eye, it languages, and then you chew on it, you choose on it, it hits the heart, and then you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, right? The alchemical laboratory, then going into the lower three chakras and manifesting into form. You do that with, what do I want to make for dinner tonight? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, boop, physical form. This is something a bit bigger. There's a real alignment of your work, career, and vocation here in terms of divine energy. I mean, honestly, the alchemist and the mother archetype, particularly the mother archetype in that position, that's pretty heavy duty. So let's put this all together in overview in terms of your work, physical world, right? The literal level of power. You have got the alchemist in the shadow, misuse of the power and knowledge that comes through spiritual practice. So watch your spiritual practice, whatever that is. Even if you don't think you have one, what do you do? What is it that you do? The light attribute, transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. That it might be whatever it is that you're doing for work, right, in the physical world. But there is alchemy there and a strong emotional connection to it. I would say bonding, that you feel very bonded emotionally to what you work, who you work with, whatever that is, but that things might be on pause, right? That and it's not you're being punished and it's not the end of the world. It's just saying that there are transformations that need to happen right now through things being pulled away. You could say, that makes sense on planet Earth or what we're going through right now. But also seeing things differently. This is Prometheus, granted a bit more punishing than we usually see in this card. Usually we kind of look at the hanged man as someone who voluntarily hangs himself. This is Prometheus, who stole fire from the gods to give to mortal man, and he was chained to a rock in Tartarus, upside down, I think in Tartarus? Don't remember. And a vulture would peck out his liver every day. Talk about a sacrifice. Now, I prefer the Odin, right? Odin plucking out an eye, hanging himself upside down by 1 foot from the world tree Yggdrasil in order to get the runes and other gifties that something has to be given up for something to be received. So I get that, but no, whatever shit you're dealing with, there is alchemy here for you. In your career, which is connected here, is the hedonist, right? In the shadow, pursues pleasure to the detriment of health, indulges at the expense of others. In the light, inspires creative energy to embrace the good things in life, celebrates the beauty in yourself. And certainly if the money hasn't been rolling in work, then maybe your career is a way of sort of coming into alignment with that, embracing the good things that work, or the good things in life that really, really feel good in terms of not just career, but imagine that as an internal career. All right, hedonist is part of my career energy right now. Let's enjoy what we have, right? And with that 6 of Cups, that feels very emotionally balanced, but with the Wheel of Fortune, it's part of the plan. So this isn't just count your blessings. This is about really opening up to that power, because really, you give me a bathtub, I'm a hedonist. I do love hot water for a Pisces moon. But, you know, a salt bath, right? Like anything, a massage, anything like that, though it may be in the physical world, right? What does it do internally that way? So with that Wheel of Fortune, the things are moving on the outside. You may not see them, but at least remember, keep your balance emotionally. And then in your vocation, you've got the mother archetype, the shadow attribute, smothering or abandoning children, and that could be creative projects as well, by the way. Instilling guilt in children for becoming independent. And really, in terms of a vocation, I don't know how that plays itself out, honestly, because it really is upper chakra stuff. I mean, unless you're feeling like the Divine Mother has abandoned or smothered you, which is never the case, but could feel that way, right? Particularly, it's like, where's all my stuff? What's happening? Have you abandoned me? Totally possible for some of you, because we all feel that way every now and again. Dark night of the soul. Paradox of the dark night of the soul is you feel completely abandoned by the divine, and yet you are sitting in the palm of its hand the whole time. See bigger, right? As you can. The light attribute, though, nurturance, patience, unconditional love, joy in giving birth to life, right? With that Ace of Cups, it's like you're being inseminated with this divine Ace of Cups inside of yourself. This initial experience and offer of unconditional love is what I'm getting there. And with Page of Cups, it comes from going within. That this is the card of vocation, your spiritual calling, to become more loving, even if you're not a mother archetype. I mean, I have the mother archetype in my alchemical chemistry that way, in my sacred contract, not Chronos, Kairos, comes and goes, comes and goes. But it's like being exposed to radioactivity. It changes you, right? As these soul powers, these soul's energies move through you. So really, in terms of work, career, and vocation, an alchemist, a hedonist, and a mother, or if you look at it this way, the mother is creating this seed that's going to move through the hedonist, balancing it out, and in time with action, the divine plan unfolding, yes, there is a surrender going on here, but there's an emotional bond here that is ripe for the alchemist in you or in the situation to turn the lead to gold. So, may the Leo Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation for October, November 2020, that they may alchemize, that they may hedonize, and that they may mother in their work, career, and vocation for their well-being and for the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much for watching, my Leos. Again, please do like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all those YouTubey things down under, and you know, go down and check out my description box. It's okay. Go ahead. Go look what's in my description box. You want to see what's in my description box? Go see what's in my description box. Otherwise, wishing you all the very best, seek hedonist, the very best, and the very blessed of your work, career, and vocation for October, November 2020. I hope this helped. Hell